let's get into some WWE. Hulk still rules, brother. So Kevin Hart asks CM Punk about the infamous pipe bomb.
Was that intentional, or was that just a moment where you said, I'm going off script and I'm going to create a moment?
All the above. I think, man, when you're an entertainer, you might be able to understand this. I think when you...
And go and check out the LOL Network and Cold as Balls. LOL Network rules. Last night I was watching the original Kings of Comedy. Kevin Hart owns the rights to some of these movies. He just uploads them to his YouTube channel. It's actually kind of sweet.
You're really good at what you do, and there is an element of ego to it.
Yes.
There is an element of like narcissism to it. No, man, I'm the best. Like, and you can respect everybody else around you, but you can know within your heart and your brain that I'm the best in the world. I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah.
That was me throughout that whole like 2-3 years. And I knew if I got to do things my way, it would be good and it would be quality. It wouldn't sacrifice anything. We wouldn't get thrown off the air. But I feel like I was part of that new guard that always had to push through, and you couldn't get through to some of the old heads. Nah, kid, this, that. And yes, it is good to have structure. I do respect my elders and I listen to them.
All right. Okay. Get back. Don't you see? He's
Okay.
wrapping up a good story.
You're used to that though, right? You gotta be.
Yeah.
It's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Who wants to smash some fruit? Anyway, I just felt like...
Speaking of old heads, Gallagher, what is this? A Gallagher reference.
I was at the pinnacle and my voice wasn't being heard. The fans' voice wasn't being heard. So I kind of took it upon myself to just, disturb a little bit. Stir the pot.
I like what you said, and I agree firmly. Nobody knows what you're capable of more than you.
Yeah.
Was that intentional, or was...
So that's cool. I think the full episode dropped today or something. So earlier in the show, we talked about MVP's comments on Triple H, and Booker T shared his thoughts. He said, I don't think Triple H is thinking a whole lot about what MVP is saying, man. Those guys are in two totally different stratospheres, dog. Oh, yeah. As far as the business, shucky ducky, quack, quack. I love Booker. He just says, listen, people are going to say things, especially when they know they're not going back. They're going to say whatever the hell they want to say, especially now having the platform and that voice to say whatever you want to say. Who was it that said bosses move in silence? It's Lil Wayne said real G's move in silence like lasagna or whatever. That's what I'm saying. I ain't got time to be going low, man. Like Michelle Obama said, I'm gonna go high, man, every time. Me personally, I don't know the beef or anything like that, but to each his own. So what do you think? Jonathan Coachman has a conspiracy theory that he was unfairly snubbed by WWE, and this is why Coachman and Vince Russo, bro, this is why they hate on WWE, is because they thought that with Vince out of the way, they would be offered jobs or something down the line. I don't know. Coachman just feels snubbed, but he says, the fact that me and my team didn't make this package hurts us a little. We took SportsCenter to multiple manias. We did Tuesday interviews from SmackDown for over 2 years, but at least anchors that don't know anything about wrestling made it. Thank you, Trips. LOL. My top 5 guys who rolled with me, we know. Yeah, this is why Vince Russo's all mad about WWE too. He thinks he's owed a job and shit. A job, and Coachman is just sour grapes about like we weren't used in this package. It's up. Neither was like Adam Cole. He wasn't used in that NXT package, and that's way more of a dagger, I would say. WWE Raw and Netflix numbers were up from recent weeks for last Monday's episode, which featured the earlier start time. The show scored 2.6 million views globally for the week per Netflix data, up 4%, with 5.3 million hours viewed, up 4%. So again, like Dave is, they play with the numbers, Brian, and then they just say the real numbers. They could play with them so easily. We've covered it on the show where their minutes viewed was down, but the overall viewership was up, and that would have been a time they could have easily just fudged them, and they didn't, right? So we just don't listen to that. Listen to guys like Raj when he just lays out what it is there. It doesn't even really matter at the end of the day. Like streaming key demos, and there's so much more. They just look at different than what anybody's talking about, but Dave wants to play that game. We got to keep the truth out there and alive. ESPN Select, formerly ESPN Plus, is getting another price hike ahead of the streamer services split with the UFC at the end of the year. So ESPN price is increasing again in October to $12.99 per month ahead of split with UFC at the end of 2025. Does that affect like when, let's say, another PLE's on ESPN, chat? Let me know. Fill me in. Talk to your boy Phil. Fill in Phil. Pause. Does that affect like the ESPN DMTC or whatever the fuck it's called, DTM, DCMC or whatever. I don't know. Where's Lex Luger? So here is basically the end of the TNA NXT invasion. I can't play it here. WWE will snipe me, but it was just like a bench clearing brawl. The crowd's going insane. Femi and Ricky are staring each other down while everyone's brawling. We're lucky enough to have fan footage of it. And so let's take a look at this. Just spectacular. And then they had dueling even during the show and before this brawl, but during this brawl as well, they had dueling NXT, TNA. And I looked too. I looked in the crowd. I paused it because I watched it this morning, right? So I paused it and I fucking looked in the crowd and I kind of like scrubbed through a couple times at certain moments. And there were some fans who are exclusively going TNA and some fans going exclusively NXT. And then some people were just chanting both NXT, TNA. I'm not joking. Not a lot, but there were some wackos in there, in TNA holes fucking chanting both. And that's what this feud has done so well is like there's legit TNA stands in there. There's legit NXT stands in there. And then there's people who are like, I just love what's happening. So it's working so well. Oh my God. And look at the brawls we're getting. Like, right, Ren was just brawling with Zaya. And then refs were getting laid out too. So Vicky Derrico, you see, at the end of the thing, like refs were getting laid out. Like TNA people didn't give a fuck. They're just laying people out. And they're just brawling. You see Zari and they're helping out Soul. You see Moose. At one point too, you see like Eric Young, I think he just starts like Javon starts throwing on him and he's just fucking selling his ass off for Javon and shit. And you're like, okay, everyone understands this assignment, like everyone knows like, okay, you got to sell a little more for Moose. Hey, if Javon's coming at you, that's our guy, like everybody knows what's going on. And the crowd, holy shit. And Cardona, too, when he walked out, man, the crowd saw him, and they're like, oh, fuck, like he got a big pop. Fuck your chance! Fuck your chance! And look at that shit. Fuck your chance, the crowd. Fuck you guys. And TNA's holding down the NXT ring. Come on, man. You mean to tell me AEW couldn't have done this with ROH? And got people invested in ROH and built it up if you were really about it, man. He could have did that from the jump. He just fucked up and let WWE do an invasion that doesn't involve AEW or whatever. Before they could. Damn, man. You got to love that. Like, I'm marking out, like, hey, and Vince, where are you at, bro? No, that was, like, out of his hands, right? Like, people were just getting paid too much to sit at home. But god damn it, dude. I love this so much. We're going to get NXT TNA Invasion. I called it so long ago. So long ago. They're going to bring back the PLE name. And, I mean, we all can piece it together. We're watching it happen in real time, and we're all marking out about it together. But it's just like, it's got to happen. We have to still manifest this. Because if they fuck around and try and do like, well, worlds collide, TNA. Fuck that, dude. We want invasion. We want invasion. We want it done correctly, okay? And it has been thus far. I think I might have Matt Cardona getting big pops. Big poppers. Put your hands in the air if you a true player. So ESPN boss, speaking of big papas here, says that they tried to land the WWE SmackDown and archive rights in the past. And ESPN started doing that like with they were like they had ESPN Classics and all that sort of shit going on for a while. They were ESPN's sort of been on the forefront of like, yeah, let's scoop up all the old college games and all the old fucking da-da-da-da-da. And so, yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me. They tried to get WWE's content in the past, but WWE played the long game and look at how it played out for them. Speaking of playing the long game here, The Miz was asked for his dream bar fight team, and he included the Usos because they've already backed him up in the past. He also said Jacob Fatu in a later part of the interview, but he said the Usos are number 1 and 2 because it's happened. I'll never forget, guy just like literally we're hanging out after a Monday Raw or Friday SmackDown. We were eating, and a dude just said, hey, The Miz from Real World, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you something, the Usos don't play, okay? The Usos don't play. They've always had my back ever since day one-ish, dude. And to this day, so I will always take the Usos. Yeah, dude, having 2 Samoans in your corner, bro. Fucking Haku. Speaking of someone you'd want in your corner, Undertaker. I'm going to read this, and I think we have the video segment, but I just want to make sure we get everything in. So he responds, because my response, like I quote tweeted this, and I was like, nice cope, pretty much, right? I'm like, listen, this is what the sickos say about AEW Dynamite. We still don't like it, bro. He pretty much hits us. Taker hits us with a just enjoy wrestling, y'all. So Undertaker's response to fan criticism over the direction of his 6 feet under podcast. Taker says, look, this is where we're at. This is the direction I wanted to take the show. Whether you like it or don't like it, I do this. We do this for fun. And if you get entertained, then be entertained. If you do not get entertained, you don't like it. This is America. I thought this was America. And you get to do whatever you want. So just relax and enjoy the ride. And it's like, I guess, man, but it's not going to make anyone watch it. So Michelle McCool reads some fan mail of her and Undertaker getting roasted. And this is actually funny and in good taste for them to do this. I think that this is a smart move for them to lean into it and not back away from the criticism. Because the people who like try and pretend the criticism isn't real and shit, they just lolcow themselves, you know? And so here's Coattail Confessionals. And it's like read mean tweets. Basically, it's the bit that whoever, maybe Kimmel invented. I forget who invented the read mean tweets, but either way, fanatics, chill, bros. I'll try and pause this a bunch. Don't get mad at me in the clips later, okay? They're savage about this shit. And yeah, here's Undertaker explaining or reading mean tweets after defending his wife in the direction of the show, which is an L. It doesn't matter. Tony Khan wants to take Dynamite in this bullshit direction. We don't fucking like it. Undertaker, we don't like this version of 6 feet deep or whatever. And you're going to have to deal with that, bro.
Please, this take your wife to work day needs to stop.
Take your wife to work day? True that.
It's the only chance I get to see him, people.
Oh my
Jeez.
goodness. Will you follow me?
And then she says it's the only chance I get to see him, people, is at work. And that is kind of shitty too, if he's always traveling around still.
I know. I can't help it. Those coattails are long. It says, Undertaker. Undertaker is the husband that brings his wife on the boys' golfing trip. Hey, look, if you can use me for a women's tee, you know I can drive the ball. Maybe that's what they meant.
I'm sure that's what they meant.
They were like, I bet she's a good golfer.
Yeah.
That's probably what they meant. Thanks, Matty Ice.
Yeah.
I can actually drive a ball really far.
Yeah.
Your neck is so weird and bony. You look like a failed
Oh no. Oh no. Boom. Roasted. Oh no.
I'm not even done yet. Hang on, it gets better. Your neck is your neck is so weird and bony. You look like a failed attempt at someone restoring a corpse.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't even know what it means. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Your neck is jacked up, but no, I meant like for real, it's jacked up.
Like bony and weird? Or
no,
like I can't move it
like
to
it
the side?
doesn't. It's like mine. It doesn't
Jesus
look well.
Christ, your neck's all bony and weird. Just called her Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah. Preston Saguaro 520. You know what he said?
No.
He said he truly believes that The Undertaker is a good guy at heart, but but he gives his wife too much. I could never be married to a woman who wants to have control over everything. And furthermore, I would tell her no.
Wow.
We need to.
Here's the thing, man. Like, it just was a better pod before. So, like, I don't care if he wants his wife around and everything, but when it's affecting like LFG and the show was better before she was on, yeah, fans are allowed to have a goddamn reaction to that, you know, and then no longer, like, it's not no longer, like, personally, I get it, Taker, but listen, it's fucking up these shows though. So at some point you got to be like, all right, maybe. And hey, it's his pod. If he wants to do it with his wife, that's great. Let him do that. But then when it bleeds over to like LFG and other things, I mean, then it's kind of out of your hands, right?
Talk about how you didn't book me right when I was working. mean, couldn't you have gotten girls more time?
Right. That's the
Like, as far as fans hating on it, it's out of your hands of like, well, just come on, guys. It's like, yeah, you understand, right? I want to be with my wife and shit. It's like, yeah, but you expect me to watch this fucking show, right?
that's the funniest part of all of these
Because I would have asked for a lot.
accusations
Exactly.
and
Accusations and shit. Accusations. At least they addressed it, but just don't lolcow yourselves like responding to the shit. Don't let it consume you. Speaking of consuming you, one thing I always let consume me before we get into our main event WWE story, which I want to save for last. It is Wrensday. It's also Rusev Day. But this is PWT Wrensday edition of PWT. Let's check in with Ren. Charles Dempsey here. And I think we got an answer. I was asking, I was like, are they dating in real life and shit? I think they are. I think we figured it out, which you think I'd know, but you don't really know what's real and not with Ren because she just does her shtick so well. But besides all of that, ladies and gentlemen, twos in the chat, peace signs in the chat for Wrensday.
Hey guys, happy Wrensday. So today we have
Charlie Dempsey.
Charles. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the questions because this one's a really good one. I promise this time. It's not a setup. Who's most likely to use brass knuckles, Charles or Ren?
You?
Me?
Yeah, I think you could use the advantage of your current
No, like who would I?
streak.
That was rude.
Charlie. Dad. Why don't you ask him the question?
Sorry, what?
He's so fucking funny. God damn it.
Do you mean get off? I've only just come on.
Can you read that?
He's got one job to do and he's wearing makeup.
I don't know what to tell you. They let anyone in here nowadays?
Yeah.
There's the question.
Fucking
right
bug eyes, man.
Brass knuckles.
there. Yeah.
I hope you wouldn't lower yourself to such devious tactics. I brought you up to be a gentleman, a sportsman. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah. Bye, Dad.
I know that guy.
She's like starstruck by fucking Regal. That is hilarious.